18th, and today we actually have an appointment. We need to get our sonograph. Whoa, that took a second. So today we are going to be finishing up our 20-week anatomy scan. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so last time we went for, it was around 20 weeks. What was it before? I think it was 19 weeks technically, when I got the first scan done, and baby was being super uncooperative, was in there blah 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 blah. No paparazzi. So she couldn't get everything she needed, so she had to reschedule us, and that was actually a month ago, just about a month ago. Today's the 18th now. We did that on November 20th. So yeah, it was about a month ago. So ignore my dog. What? Stop. And so today we're going in to finish up that scan that she started. Baby is gonna be a whole lot bigger this time, I'm sure, than the baby was a month ago. So I'm really curious to see how much baby's grown. I'm really excited to see baby again. I really wish that like you can get an ultrasound at every appointment, because like I would just want to see my baby. So anyway, I'm really excited to see baby again today. I think I'd be feeling baby in there wiggling and jiggling every now and then. So I think baby's okay. I think I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've had like a bit of, I'm gonna sit down because my arm's tired from holding this. I've had a lot of anxiety around this pregnancy. Just to like, even in the very beginning, like when I found out I was pregnant, like even Kyle and I were both like skeptical. We were like, I mean, it says you're pregnant, but we'll see. Like, because Kyle and I actually, we've done this twice already. And the first two pregnancies did not make it past like 7-8 weeks. So even this time, like even if you like even saw his reaction to me telling him like I was pregnant, like he was like kind of like chill react, because again, like I don't know, I guess we have some past trauma with miscarriages or whatever. So yeah, so like even in the beginning, like we were both like maybe let's not get too excited, let's not get too hyped, let's not like get too invested into this, because we've done that in the past and clearly those didn't work out. So this time around we were both very like chill, like don't get too excited, don't get too this, don't get too that in the beginning. And then once we made it out past like week, stop. I think once we made it past week 8 was kind of like, okay, well this is a new record, that's cool, but still like don't get too hype. Like we were both very like and so like all the way leading up to me having my very first ultrasound, I was actually so anxious and so nervous and expecting, bad news. I was just like, I just know like, oh, they're gonna tell me like, oh, nothing's growing or nothing's, there's no heartbeat. Like I just knew like, oh, it's probably gonna be bad news. Like, so like don't even like get too hyped, don't get too excited. But I mean, I was so nervous because I didn't want bad news, obviously. And I didn't want, I didn't want to go through all that again. So anyway, obviously that turned out to be fine. So it was kind of like after that very first ultrasound, we got our very first ultrasound, we could actually see baby Bean like for the very first time. That's kind of when we both were kind of like, okay, this might be real this time. We might be like for real this time. So that wasn't until, I don't remember. That was well into my first trimester, I think. Well, by the time we both like really accepted that, whoa. By the time that we both really truly accepted that, like, we're pregnant, like, oh crap. But yeah, but still, even now, well, not so much these days, actually. I feel like my anxiety's kind of gone away a little bit, but once we made it out of the first trimester and got to the second trimester, I was still very nervous, and I was still very skeptical, not skeptical, that's not the word. I was just very worried and scared that something was gonna go wrong or something. So like at every appointment we've had, I go into these appointments very anxious, very nervous, and it's in my mind. I'm sorry, my dog is whining in the background, but here, come on, you wanna get up here? Stop you from whining. Hello. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so every appointment, like, I'm always like very nervous, very worried, like, oh, when they put the little Doppler thingy on, the heart monitor thingy, like, what if she doesn't find a heartbeat? Like, what if something's happened? Like, what if baby decided, yeah, I'm good, yeet, and decided to be done? And so like I think that has a lot to do with my blood pressure issue whenever I go in as well, because I'm so like nervous and anxious and worried when I go into my appointments. So when they take my blood pressure, it's always elevated. And then they're like, oh, your blood pressure's high. So then they like have to leave and come back, and I have to like literally have to calm myself down. I have to breathe, I have to chill, I have to relax. And then by the time they come back and check it a second time, it's gone down. So yes, anyway, all of that to say, it's these days I feel baby moving a lot. It's very subtle feeling, like it's still not super strong or anything of the movements, but I can still feel. So I feel like that has given me, that's also given me a lot of peace of mind, since I can start feeling baby move now. And so I'm like, okay, baby's moving, like baby's still in there, baby's still all right. So yeah, so these days, because of now that I can decipher, you know, baby movement from just, is that a fart or or something, I feel a lot less anxious. So going in today, I don't feel anything but just pure excitement, and I'm just ready to see baby Bean. And I'm not going in thinking like, oh, what if there's no heartbeat? What if there's this? What if there's that? Because I can literally, like, well, before I went to bed last night, baby was in there. Well, I don't know, it's funny because I was sitting on the sofa and I was like, I don't feel like I felt baby moving in a while. I kept like poking at my belly and like jiggling it and stuff, like to see if baby would react, but like baby wasn't. And I was like, you know, my anxious brain started up again. But then, like, I want to say after like 10, maybe after like 5 or 10 minutes, I felt baby bloop, and I was like, oh, yay, there you are, baby. Like, so yeah. But anyway, all that to say, I don't even know where I'm going anymore, but my anxiety has chilled out a bit when it comes to like worrying about like miscarriage at the moment. So yeah, and I've yeah, so anyway, so where we are on a week-to-week update, I believe we're at 23 weeks today. So yeah, let's go take a look at Bean. Baby Bean, baby Bean. He's a baby yoo-yoos. Baby yoo-yoos, baby yoo-yoos. I'm gonna put you down for a second, mama puppy. Oi. So, there's the belly welly. I still feel like I should be bigger than I am, but I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know, I've always envisioned like me being pregnant and me being like huge. So I don't know if that's just gonna come for me like in 3rd trimester, like if that's where I'm just gonna blow the hell up. But I still feel like I'm not as big as I always imagined myself to be. But this is Belly at 23 weeks. Bean's in there chilling. Yeah, we're gonna see you later today, Bean. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't think I have any new stretch marks yet. Maybe that's the perks of being pre-stretched, pre-pregnancy. Because like I said before, I already had these stretch marks before I got pregnant, I think. Most of them at least. I don't know, maybe some new ones have popped up that I ain't noticed yet, but For the most part, I was pretty stretched. I don't want the perks of being fat, baby. I also have not gained very much weight either, which that was also something that was kind of stressing me out. Because I'm like reading, you know, like the pregnancy apps and online and all these things, like in these books, and they tell you like, oh, you should be gaining, you know, this amount of weight per week, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I feel like I haven't really gained much weight at all. So I was like looking at my records, because I can like go online and like check my records and see like what I've been weighing in at, and like the scale barely moved like from month to month from these appointments. So I'm like, dude, is my baby not growing? Is something wrong? So that's another thing that was like triggering me to think that something was wrong with me or my baby. Because I feel like I wasn't gaining enough weight. But I mean, but then I realized, but then I like, you know, kept reading and stuff, and then it was like, if you were already, you know, on the bigger side before you got pregnant, like your weight gain probably won't be that much or whatever. It's like, so I was like, oh, okay, I was already a little thickums before. I was already a little thickums beforehand. So that's probably why I'm not like gaining hella tons of weight, because I already had the weight on me. So yeah, I think since the beginning, actually, where's my phone at? Let me check my very first weight. My first weight, see, that's another thing. I don't know what my pre-pregnancy weight was. The very last weight I have like recorded in my phone from like in like the Apple Health app or something was like, hang on, where is my phone? I don't know. So my last weight that I have recorded in my phone before pregnancy was 234, and that was in April. So that was in the spring. I got pregnant at the end of summer. So I don't know how accurate, like how much maybe I'd gain. You know, I don't know how like up or down since the April I've been. So that was just because she'd asked me like my very first like nurse's appointment, like, oh, do you know what your pre-pregnancy weight was? And I was like, I think maybe 235, like, but I'm not sure. That was my guess at the time. So my very first weight that we recorded when we got here at the hospital was 243. 243, and then I went to the doctor last week, last Wednesday, and I weighed at 248. So assuming that 235 was, or 234 was my actual, like, or somewhere roughly around there, I've only gained about, well actually no, because my weight, see, that's the other thing. They weigh you with your clothes on, your shoes on, and all that stuff. Because when I weigh myself at home, I weigh significantly less than what I weigh at the doctor's office. So that's just, I was 248 last week. And I go hop on my bathroom scale. Because normally when I weigh myself at home, I weigh myself naked. So I should probably just base that off my own measurement. Duh. Never mind. Screw what the doctors say. Because like I said, that'd be off. Now I'm only 243.6 at home. So we're around at 244. So, assuming that 234 was my true starting, was roughly around my true starting time, then I've only gained 10 pounds so far this pregnancy. So that's assuming that pre-pregnancy weight is right, but yeah. Well, anyway, I'm done rambling, I think, for now. I will check in with y'all hopefully after this appointment. I always feel like I always forget to come back and like update about the appointment itself until like the next week or or whatever. But I'll try to remember to come back today and tell you how the rest of the appointment goes. All right, so I almost forgot to come back and update. Everything at the appointment today went well for the most part, I think. So she just needed to get shots of the heart and a couple of other things that the previous ultrasound lady wasn't able to get the first time because baby Bean was being uncooperative. So she was able to get pretty much everything she needed today, with the exception of like the last like 4 photos she needed of Bean's heart. She was really having a difficult time getting. She was literally like bouncing baby, trying to get baby to move and reposition so that she could get the last like 4 shots she needed of baby's heart. And baby was just like, no, I'm good, I'm comfortable, I'm not moving, leave me alone. Like baby would like punch or like, you know, kick or whatever. It was like moving like in like this way, but like not moving their body. Like she needed baby to reposition so she could get a good shot. Eventually she was digging around for a while, but eventually she was able to get like the last 3, and then the 4th one, the very last one she needed, she was like not being able to get. And she said that if they can't get all of the shots that they need, that the doctor makes them redo all the scans. So she's like, I'd rather spend more time trying to get everything in one go than to have to have you guys come back and do it all over again. So there was the very last picture she wasn't able, she kind of gave up on, but she's like, well, she took a picture earlier in the ultrasound, so she was like, I think this one might work, we'll see what the doctor says, kind of thing. So she used that photo that she kind of took earlier as the final photo that she needed. So she was like, don't be surprised if you do get a call and the doctor wants to check baby's heart again. It's not like unlikely that it's due to anything being wrong, but was due to the fact that the photos weren't good enough. So he would want new photos done or whatever. So yeah, but other than that, baby was in there. So cute. Again, like giving no paparazzi, so we couldn't see Bean's face too much. We got a little glimpse for like a second. So but yeah, baby's measuring perfectly, heartbeat is good and everything. So I think so far so good. I think we've got ourselves a healthy baby thus far. So yeah, it was a good appointment, and I'm relieved. Again, like I said earlier, I have a lot of anxieties around these appointments, but so every time I have one and you know things are fine, then I'm like, yay, okay, great, I can stop worrying now for a little bit. Our next appointment is on the 8th of January, so in about 3 weeks I have an appointment with my regular doctor, and then, or no, I have an appointment with the ultrasound doctors. Like I said, they referred me out to the specialist, so I assume that's when the doctor's gonna go over the ultrasound photos and like let me know if anything's wrong, if they found any issues. Is my assumption. Is that what that appointment is about? And then actually have an appointment the very next day with just my regular doctor. So yeah, so anyway, it was really good. Nice to see Bean again, and I just can't wait for Bean to be here already. Like, hurry up, April, I can't wait. Sorry, my phone is dinging. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today, for this week, I guess. Well, I guess it would, week 23 just started, so yeah. Anyway, I'll probably see you next week unless something interesting happens between now and next Wednesday.